Assalamu alaikum everyone. I am Dr. Wajid Chibir with another interesting case on ECG interpretation. This is the ECG which we are going to discuss today. But before starting the discussion, as always, I would like you to pause your videos, note down the findings and diagnoses with yourself so that at the end of the video you can compare your findings and diagnoses with the discussion done in this video. So let's begin the discussion. The most prominent finding on this ECG which you can appreciate is that if you look at the rhythm strip at the bottom of the ECG, you can find two spikes before each QRS complex. Here you can see that each QRS complex is preceded by two spikes. Here you can see that there is a spike followed by P wave and there is another spike followed by QRS complex. These spikes basically represents pacing. The first spike is atrial pacing while the second spike is ventricular pacing. As you can see that these pacing spikes are at regular and fixed interval. This type of pacing is called AV sequential pacing, and it is obviously a dual chamber pacemaker as it is pacing both atria and ventricle. So we can see that there is A pace, V pace. Again atrial pacing and ventricular pacing. Except for this beat where you can see that the P wave is not being preceded by atrial pacing spike, while there is a spike before QRS complex. So we call it an atrial sensed and ventricular paced beat. So next is axis. Here in lead 1 we can see that the QRS is directed upwards while the QRS is negative in lead AVF, which means that this is a left axis deviation. As we know that in case of ventricular pacing, the pacing leads are in right ventricle. So we can so this is why the axis in a paced rhythm is left axis. Another important and prominent finding on this ECG is presence of ST elevation in inferior leads. Here you can see that in lead 2, 3 and AVF we can find significant ST elevations, while there are reciprocal ST depressions in lead 1 and AVL. Normally, if it was not a paced rhythm, we would have called it an inferior wall MI. In cases where there is left bundle branch block or a ventricular paced rhythm, to find the ischemia on ECG, we apply Scarboza criteria. Now, what is Scarboza criteria? Scarboza criteria is an ECG criteria for new onset left bundle branch block or paced ventricular rhythm. If there are concordant ST elevations of more than 1 millimeter, that is, the direction of ST elevation and the direction of QRS is same, then it is given 5 points. Next is if there is ST depression of more than 1 millimeter in lead V1 to V3, then we give 3 points. And last is If there are ST elevation of more than or equal to 5 millimeter and that ST elevation is discordant, meaning that the direction of QRS complex and the direction of ST elevation are opposite. So in that case, we give 2 points. In an ECG with 3 or more points on of Scarboza criteria, there is 90% sensitivity and specificity of ischemia to be present. Now we move back to our case. Here we can see that the ST elevation in lead 2 is definitely more than 5 millimeter and it is discordant. So we have 2 points based on discordant ST elevation. Similarly, if we look at lead V2 and lead V3, we can find that there is more than 1 millimeter ST depression in these leads. So by adding both of these, this gives 5 points on Scarboza criteria, which means that this is possible inferior wall MI. So the patient should be moved to cath lab and he should undergo a coronary angiography and revascularization either by primary PCI or surgical revascularization. To sum up the findings, this ECG shows atrial and ventricular pacing consistent with dual chamber pacemaker. Also, there are ST elevation in inferior leads with ST depression in V2 and V3, which gives 5 points on Scarboza and is highly suspicious for ischemia. This is all for today. Hopefully you liked our video. For more videos, kindly subscribe to our channel and stay tuned. Allah Hafiz till next time.